Jen, how do we answer the lies, the Democrats?
I'm looking at where we have been and how the Democrats get to a better place. I spent a lot of time yesterday talking to people who think that the Democrats have a bad strategy on the shutdown to just kind of test my own thinking on this, and I have come out convinced that picking this health care fight is a good idea. First of all, one of the biggest problems Democrats have in fighting, people have believed for years and years and years, ever since Obamacare was enacted, that illegal immigrants are getting benefits under that. This is now a time to air it and say that is not true. You all just spent about 10 minutes saying that's not true. Great. More people think that's not true. When Hakeem Jeffries is on television, he says that's not true. It is false. That's a good fight to have. I think in terms of where this shutdown ends, I don't know. You know, Joe's point about what Schumer's strategy ultimately is, I don't know exactly where it ends, but I do know that shutdowns don't matter the way they used to. This is going to be a blip. But what it has given Democrats the opportunity to do is have a fight on the issue that no one talks about. Donald Trump never talks about people's health care. Republicans don't talk about people's health care. People are worried about their health care. Shine a light on the fact that their premiums are going to go up. A lot of people are going to lose their coverage. That is all because of the Republicans, and the Democrats are offering an alternative. There is a chance that Donald Trump will take them up on that, too, because the Democrats didn't pick a fight around the shutdown on an issue where Trump has an advantage, okay? So they picked an issue that they had the advantage, where Trump probably should want to solve this problem. And even if it doesn't end well, I don't think there's going to be a lasting I don't think there's going to be an impact from that politically over the long term. And they've made this healthcare a big fight and show people we're trying to do something to improve your lives. And I think that's a huge credibility issue for Democrats that has been, and now they can prove who they're fighting for, and that they may actually deliver something. And a lot of times people are like, don't give them a win. Don't give the Republicans a win. Keep the issue alive for 2026. The issue, healthcare will be an issue in 2026. If you can show you can deliver for people, I feel like that kind of helps get over some of the cynicism people have about government not working, Democrats being only about complaining about Trump.
So, Allie, as you know, covering the story every minute of every day up on Capitol Hill, for Democrats, despite what we hear from the president and others, this is not about giving health care to illegal immigrants. It's about extending these subsidies. And if they are not extended under Obamacare, as Jen just laid out, a lot of people are going to lose their coverage, and the premiums will go way up for people who remain with that coverage. So what is the strategy as we sit here now a few hours into this shutdown from Democrats? Where do they go from here?
I love Morning Joe for so many reasons, and not just because I get to be a part of this family, but because in the last few minutes, you guys have distilled all of the various talking points that I've heard on every side of this debate. There are people who agree with Joe and Chris who say Democrats are about to launch into a messaging war when the central complaint about Democrats for the last year plus has been that they have a messaging problem. I hear that. On the other side, I do hear what Palmieri is talking about, which is the idea that this is probably the right fight for Democrats to pick. I had Congresswoman Debbie Dingell on my show this morning talking about the fact that, yes, there are concerns about what could happen in a government shutdown, the kind of things that Trump is already previewing, that he's going to fire federal workers, which is not what we do in shutdowns. Typically, those are temporary furloughs, not permanent firings, that he's going to make Democrats really feel the pain of making a decision like this. Okay, Democrats acknowledge that, but they also acknowledge and deeply feel that there has already been so much damage done, and that on health care specifically, this is one of the key places that people are already feeling the pain, and so Democrats want to have that fight. That's also what their grassroots groups are telling them. They are being shown poll after poll after poll that when they ask voters what they care about, what part of their life has been most impacted by the actions of Republicans in the Trump administration, that health care comes up as the top issue time and again. That's why Democrats are picking this fight. I think there's other things, though, that tell us that this battle over a shutdown is different. Specifically, look at the way, for example, and I did some reporting on this yesterday with our colleague Laura Barron Lopez, around the way that agencies are messaging this shutdown. It's not atypical for agencies to send shutdown guidance to staff. They're getting those. But the way that they are doing it this time is these government agencies are coming out and saying Democrats are causing a shutdown. That's political speech. It's got a lot of people questioning how that's anything other than a Hatch Act violation. I know that this government is probably not going to enforce that, but that's a really important thing for us to point out here. And then I think the other piece of it, too, is the way that both sides feel really comfortable with their position. Republicans know that this is speaking to their base and the president, who don't want to compromise. Democrats know that there's a clamoring to fight. That's why we're probably going to be camped out in this position for a while. The other one thing that I want to point out here as we finish is there is a looming election in just a few weeks in Virginia and New Jersey. Virginia specifically, and Hakeem Jeffries has referenced the fact that more fired federal workers is only going to lend to what they think is a good Democratic position in Virginia. But that's going to end up being a leverage point here. I know that we're talking about this stretching on for a while, but with elections on the horizon, that's going to actually be one of the key messaging tests for who's winning, who's losing. It's far off in the future, but I do think we're doing long-term planning here for a shutdown.
Yeah, by the way, talking about the Virginia race and the New Jersey race, I mean, in the New York markets, I must have seen 30 anti-Mikey Sherrill commercials.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if Democrats don't have any money. Like, are they really going to just turn New Jersey over to Republicans? Because they're not fighting back. And then you go down to Virginia. What's happening in Virginia? You're getting Abigail Spanberger getting smeared by trans ads, and it's just a repeat. And I'm just wondering, are Democrats going to repeat the same mistakes they made in 24? Do they know how to fight? I don't see any evidence right now, Mike Barnicle, that they do. And let me be very clear. If I could underline anything on this government shutdown, it is this. If you're going to do it, do it. If you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound. So get all your smart people around the table, figure out what your strategy is. Make it so simple you can put it on a bumper sticker and shove it down your opponent's throats for the next month, and let them know you're not blinking, and start bringing up people who are going to be losing their health care benefits, and do it every day. Run shadow committee meetings. Get the press in there and just hammer that one message that you put on a bumper sticker. Democrats don't know how to do this anymore. Bill Clinton knew how to do it. Barack Obama knew how to do it. Some other Democrats knew how to do it. But if they're going to step over that line, they better be ready to go all the way.
You know, Joe, this fight that we're talking about, that is either taking place or not taking place, depending on your point of view, is largely cosmetic, I would submit, when it comes to the Democrats. It's who's delivering the punch 'em out message. Hakeem Jeffries is a wonderful guy. Chuck Schumer's a nice guy. They're not getting it done. I saw a guy over the weekend who is getting it done, who knows how to get it done, in a form of the future of the Democratic Party, basically saying what's wrong with the Democrats. And this guy stood up. His name is Rahm Emanuel. He's got a lot of baggage to carry. But here's how his attack on what the Republicans and the president are doing. He said, has anybody noticed that Donald Trump is going to give $20 billion to Argentina because he's friends with the MAG president of Argentina? And then he went through what $20 billion would do for children's health care, for reading scores, upping reading scores. And he did it by name, and he did it by district, and he did it as tough and as mean-spirited as you can get. And he had everyone who was listening to him on the edge of their chair saying, yeah.
Yeah, Rob knows how to do this.
Yeah, well, there's one. Good, good.